So our first problem was we learned how to do word problems with equivalent ratios. Now we're just going to learn how to do finding the missing values for equivalent ratios. So our first problem is 1 to 7 is our ratio. And we want it equivalent to a problem over here. We're given 14. So we know that 7 times something will give me 14. What is that? 7 times 2 gives me 14. So remember, equivalent ratios, the bottom has to be the same. You multiply it by the same thing. If you don't, it's not equivalent. So 2. 1 times 2, 2. And there's your answer for the first problem. Let us go to our second problem. So 5 to 2. 5 to 10. Sorry, guys. Again, math. 5 to 10 is our ratio. We're given 50, and we're given a blank. So we know 10 times something has to give me 50. Now, we should know our 10 times tables by now. Your kids should know them too. So 10 times 5 gives me 50. So if I would have did here, if I would do 2, this would be 10. And this is not an equivalent ratio because the bottom here is not multiplying by the same thing. So if your kid is doing that, or you doing that, if you're a student watching this, you're not doing this correctly. Remember, has to be multiplied by the same. You multiply both by the same things to get the equivalent ratio. So 5 times 5 is 25. So let's try this one by yourselves. 4 to 6 ratio equals 12 to 10. Now in these two, we had the last problems first. The last numbers. This one gives us the first number. So let's pause the video for a second and try to figure it out yourself. If
doesn't have to stop.
Okay, so if your problem looks like this, then it's correct. And then that means you did a good job. Now, I'm going to put up a bonus problem. This problem is going to be a table. And I'm going to give you a chance to figure out the table by using the same methods of equivalent problems. So, let's erase these problems on this side. If you can do this table, then you have mastered equivalent ratios. So, let's say we have water and flour. And we're given 2 cups of water is equivalent to 3 cups of flour. This makes 10 cupcakes. So, how many, let's fill out the chart if we want to make 30 cupcakes. So we want this one to equal 30 and this one to equal 20 cupcakes. So, take a minute and do your bonus problem. Now, I'm guessing you replayed the video if you're hearing me talk again, Carebears. So, your bonus problem should look like this. These are all equivalent to each other. So, 2 to 3 is equivalent to 8 to 12. 8 to 12 is equivalent to 4 to 6. 4 to 6 is equivalent to 2 to 3. And, yeah. Hopefully you got the gist. If you got this right on the first try, then you have mastered equivalent ratios for today's problem. Now, if you didn't get it right, I recommend rewatching this video over and pausing and writing down step by step of what I said to get the video. So, thanks Carebears for tuning in, and I will see y'all next week.